Hi, everyone. I wanted to welcome you to the SPED Lab at Youngstown State University. I'm Courtney Cruz, and I am the supervisor of our lab. I just wanted to take a few minutes just to get you associated with the lab so that you feel comfortable coming into the lab on your very first day. There are a few graduate assistants that will be working in the lab. I will, again, just be the supervisor, so they will be reporting to me weekly as the progress continues throughout the semester. For our SPED Lab, you will actually be in person. It is on the second floor of Beeghly Hall. In that SPED Lab, you will see 12 different simulations that you will be working on to learn about different learning disabilities and different disabilities across the board so that you can better interact with and understand and develop empathy and, again, understanding and compassion for those who are going about the world with a very different perspective, ability level, understanding, and totally different experience than perhaps you are used to. Many people that come from the SPED Lab who have experienced the simulations really walk away with a very unique experience. And so I hope that you will find the same as you work throughout the simulations. The SPED Lab will be open for 7 weeks. You have all registered for a specific day and time. Some of you will be coming 1 day a week for, I think, 1 hour and 50 minutes. And some of you will be coming for 2 days a week for 50 minutes or however that works out. So make sure that you check your schedule. You're going to be looking for SPED 2630L. L stands for lab. A couple of just housekeeping things to keep in mind, especially this semester. We want to make sure that we are taking care of and sanitizing our environment. So we want to make sure that every single time you finish a simulation, you will go ahead and use the sanitizing wipes and wipe down your area before moving on to the next area. You are permitted to work through the simulations, the 12 simulations, at your own pace. And you can go to whichever one is open. Your graduate assistants will give you more information about that. The simulations will be submitted through Blackboard. And so in Blackboard, you will have a submission, a button for each of the first 11 simulations. Your graduate assistant and I will be scoring those. So they're each worth 10 points. And you really want to make sure you review that rubric so that you understand what we are looking for. So we really want this to be a good experience for you, and we want you to walk away with new information and a very in-depth understanding from each of the experiences that you have in the SPED Lab. The 12th simulation will be uploaded to TaskStream. So you'll need to make sure that your TaskStream account is up to date. And again, you will upload that simulation 12 to TaskStream and it will be graded in there. The 120 points that your simulations are worth, that you have an opportunity to earn, will be reported to your instructor for SPED 2630. So when the semester ends, you will not see a grade for the SPED Lab. I will have reported all of your scores to your instructor, who will then utilize that score and put that in their scoring and their grading for that particular course. So understand that this is a component of your SPED 2630 classroom. A couple of other things to keep in mind is that attendance is mandatory. Unless you have an emergency or some documentation, that will be counted against you. So you want to make sure that you come. The SPED Lab runs for 7 weeks, so you only have the 7 weeks to complete those simulations and get those turned in. Once you have completed all simulations, everything is graded, then you will make sure that you have a conversation with your graduate assistant. It will get reported to me, and then you will not have to report to SPED Lab any longer. So if you finish, if you happen to finish early, then that's great, and you will not have to come the full 7 weeks. Again, you want to make sure that you're following the rubric and really answering those questions in depth. So no one-word answers, no couple of sentences. You want to use proper professional writing in your responses so that you can earn full credit for each one. I am going to ask that you, if you have a laptop, to bring your laptop to the SPED Lab. We do have Chromebooks available if you need to borrow that. That's no problem at all. You'll just have to ask your graduate assistant to borrow that within the SPED Lab. They will not be taken out of the SPED Lab. A couple of other things you need to keep in mind is that there will be a contract that you will sign on the first day, and that will go in your file for the SPED Lab that's reported to your instructor. And your graduate assistant will read through each of the components of the contract. And so, of course, you have the option to not agree with the contract. And if you don't, we'll need to have a discussion. But mainly, it's just, again, housekeeping things that you understand what's expected of you in this SPED Lab. Attendance, like I said, will be taken daily. So you will sign in and you will sign out each time that you are in the lab. The simulations are only to be worked on inside the SPED Lab. So I want to make sure that I make that very clear that if you know someone who has taken the SPED Lab before, do not try, of course, to copy any answers or to utilize what they say. This is really a personal experience as you go through the simulation. So it's much about, what feelings are you having while you're experiencing the simulation? What understanding are you walking away with? How would you implement that in a classroom? Those types of questions will be asked of you. So again, personal experience, make those personal connections. And I think that's pretty much about it. Your instructor will receive weekly updates from us at the SPED Lab. So they will know if you've been to class, into the lab, and they will know your progress as you are working through those 11, 12 simulations. I say 11 because we really want you to work through those 11 first, and you've got that 12 that is going into task stream. Again, make sure that if you have any questions at all, you can email me or talk with your graduate assistant. We're here to support you. I hope that you really, truly do enjoy this unique experience of the simulation special education lab here at Youngstown State University.